Good evening from the Channel's newsroom here in London. Countries across the world have been celebrating the new year with spectacular fireworks displays. New Zealand was the first major country to see in the new year, fireworks here lighting up the sky in Auckland. Next up was Australia, with hundreds of thousands of people gathering at the Sydney Harbour Bridge for the midnight fireworks display. The globally renowned attraction generates millions in tourism revenue, but it was in doubt this year, with campaigners saying it should be called off due to the bushfire crisis in the country. Meanwhile, Australian military aircraft and vessels will be deployed to help emergency services in the fire-ravaged states of New South Wales and Victoria. The Fire Department of New South Wales posted this video showing one of their trucks surrounded by raging fire. Thousands of people fled to beaches in the southeastern states on Tuesday as emergency-level fires spread. In Malakuta, Victoria, around 4,000 people sought shelter on the coast. 2 more people have been confirmed dead in New South Wales, bringing the fire-linked death toll to 12. Authorities say 4 people are missing in Victoria and another in New South Wales.
We were about 8 adults and 9 kids, and we came down here because the place we were staying at, my parents-in-law place, burned down this morning. So we came down onto the beach to evacuate and get closer to some clean air. And, we're sitting there happily for a few hours. Wind suddenly dropped. Couldn't see a thing.
Protesters angered by recent deadly US airstrikes targeting an Iran-backed Iraqi militia have attacked the US embassy compound in Baghdad. A protest march turned to violence, with a crowd of several hundred people throwing stones and setting fire to the outer wall of the compound, which is in the capital's heavily fortified green zone. One of the guard towers was also apparently set alight. IRAQI TV broadcast footage on Tuesday of US troops inside the embassy compound as thousands of protesters and militia fighters thronged the gates in fury at US airstrikes in Iraq. The US ambassador to Iraq and other staff were evacuated from the embassy in Baghdad for their safety. It's after at least 25 fighters died when the US bombed bases in Iraq and Syria on Sunday. Former Nissan boss Carlos Ghosn has travelled to Lebanon after fleeing Japan, where he faces a trial over allegations of financial misconduct. In a statement, Mr. Ghosn said he had not fled justice but escaped injustice and political persecution. His lawyer said he was dumbfounded by the news and that he had not recently spoken with his client. It is unclear how the former chief executive officer managed to leave, as he was barred from travelling abroad. Mr. Ghosn, who has an estimated net worth of $120 million, was one of the most powerful figures in the global car industry until his arrest in November 2018. He denies any wrongdoing. India's capital, Delhi, has recorded its coldest day in more than a century amid a severe cold wave across the northern part of the country. Thick fog blanketed the city on Monday as the maximum day temperature dropped to 9.4 Celsius and pollution levels peaked. Delhi started tracking temperatures in 1901, and the earlier record was set at 9.8 Celsius on the 2nd of January 2013. That's according to the Meteorological Department. Maximum day temperatures in large parts of the north dipped to 10 Celsius below normal. A state of emergency has been declared in areas of northern Peru after strong floods swept through streets on Sunday, taking with it vehicles and belongings. Affected regions have seen homes destroyed and roads cut off. Officials are surveying damage to determine the number of residents affected and homes damaged. It comes after heavy rains have lashed Peru in the last few weeks. Chinese President Xi Jinping has delivered a New Year speech in which he reviewed the achievements of 2019 and extended New Year wishes for 2020. Xi praised China's good economic performance in the past year, adding that significant breakthroughs have been achieved. He said more than 10 million people have been lifted out of poverty, and he mentioned several significant achievements during the last year, such as China's lunar probe landing on the far side of the moon and the opening of Beijing Daxing International Airport. And finally, staying in China, the 2019 Harbin Ice and Snow World, a main annual tourist attraction in Harbin City, has opened to the public. The Harbin Ice and Snow World occupies an area of 600,000 square metres and contains 21 sites made of ice and snow. A total of 10,000 workers spent 15 days constructing the splendid ice and snow kingdom. The ice sculptures this year were built with about 120,000 cubic metres of ice blocks, which were mined from the Songhua River near the park. And that's your international news around the world in 5 minutes.